women's hockey, there has been 5 championships and 4 different championship appearances, most recently with the Boston Fleet of the PWHL. Welcome to the Fleet. Welcome to the Armada. You are tuning into the Fleet Diehards podcast, brought to you by the Bruins Diehards and Brews and Bruins. Today it's a little different. Obviously, I'm Calvin. Oliver is not here. I had to deal with some stuff. Anthony's joining me today, so welcome.
Hello, yes.
Anthony.
Yeah, it should be fun.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bit of a chaotic week behind us and ahead of us.
Yeah.
Well, chaotic few weeks.
Fair.
Let's rip the band-aid off. The loss to Toronto. Um, Obviously not the and Ottawa, but let's start with the Toronto game. Not really the result that any of us were looking for.
No. That's a tough one. I mean, they've been so hot for a while, so it's like you kind of got to expect it eventually, right? But it's, you never like to see it.
Yeah, they seem to have a lot of trouble scoring, which knowing this Fleet team, which is weird because they just started getting their edge with their scoring, and they just kind of fell flat. It seems so.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
we've got HK2 is just doing so much work, so it's like
yeah, I
it's
um,
yeah.
I if anyone saw my Twitter that listens, I said why did they split Alina Mueller and Hillary Knight up? Because those two, they were working magic,
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean, I
they
think
split.
I've got to imagine the coach is just trying to spread a little bit of, the talent out. Just because like I was just like HK being, whatever she is, like 80% of our scoring, maybe more. I don't even know at this point.
Yeah,
Like
right.
you just gotta like try and spread it out, I guess, especially going into the playoffs. Like it's always everybody always talks about depth, right? So I got to imagine that that's, what they're trying to flex, trying to just get a little bit more depth, a little bit more help down the lineup rather than just leaving it all on one line. But yeah, it does. Sometimes I'm like, let's just put them back together because they're
Right.
unstoppable. So yeah,
Well, maybe she's. This is my thought. Maybe she's feeling a Hannah Bilka return soon, and
that's true as well. Yep.
who trying to kind of feel at least with Mueller, who Mueller kind of works well with.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, know that if once Bilka's ready, I think she's gonna slot with Hillary Knight once again.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, we had the lead until the third period, and 4 goals.
Yeah. That was
It,
yeah.
the crowd really like so. This was in the second Aganis game, and the crowd was there. I will say,
Yeah.
there were. They said there was over 6,000 people, but I will say there was a lot of spots and you know little
Yeah.
blotches, empty seats.
Yeah. I don't know how they I mean, I know a sold ticket is a sold ticket or whatever, right? So like it was a sellout officially, I think. Um
Yeah,
it did look light on the broadcast. I didn't get to go to this game unfortunately. I got talk about a hectic week. I uh, during the filming of the last pod, I thought I was just, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm just a little sick. Yeah, I had the flu, so I was out for this last whole week, so I didn't end up getting to go to the game. Um, but I saw it from home, and I was like, yeah, it does look a little bit light. I was a little worried, and then they were like, oh, it's a sellout, and I was like, oh, it's fine, great, whatever, good job.
exactly. I
So, but yeah, I guess my guess would be the season ticket holders like me who, they went to the first one, but we had like priority seats or whatever, or like first pick, whatever it was. Maybe they just decided not to go to the next one. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Um. I I went. I go to school right outside the city, so I drive in
Yeah,
from. So I
yeah,
I just took the train, or actually I took an Uber there because it was
hmm,
quick.
right.
I ended up getting there at the end of the first. I will note the crowd was very hostile. Like
Really?
yeah, there was a lot of profanities being screamed.
Oh, uh-oh.
There
I
was a lot of,
guess,
you
yeah,
know,
the first was, what
crowd.
was the first one was on a Sunday? Saturday?
Saturday, and it wasn't that
Right.
bad, but
No.
it. I'm not trying to like downplay the crowd because the crowd was there,
Yeah.
but they were a little rowdy. I think
Interesting.
a lot of drinking involved
Hmm.
that day. So
Well, yeah, it was a Wednesday night, right? It's a 7 o'clock game, so a little bit more prime time, a little bit more like the usual. That's
yes,
interesting.
there was a lot of. I'm gonna have to bleep this out.
Uh oh.
Stock chants. So
Interesting. I wonder.
that
What?
was you could hear it on the broadcast too.
Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna
So
have to.
back and I heard it.
Yeah.
There's it was a good. It was like I said, it was very well attended.
Sure.
Um, I did agree with the crowd that the refs kind of did stink, but
Yep.
you don't if you're trying to market yourself towards kids.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. I mean, when we're
Um,
doing Taylor Swift sing-alongs and stuff, those two things
yeah,
don't
if you're trying
typically
to
go
market
hand in hand.
to kids, you don't want angry Bostonians screaming the F word.
Well, and
Both
they
of
also,
them.
yeah, I don't remember from the first game, but I know at Songus before the game they do have an announcement that's like, hey, no profanity use. Like, no, I don't. Did they do that at
I
Aganis?
think they did. I'm not sure. Like I said, I got in there
Oh,
at the
that's
end of
right.
the
Yeah, you
first.
were a little bit late. Yeah, I just
So
don't even remember from the first one if they did that announcement or not. I might have been late
yeah,
actually for the first one. So
yeah. I don't remember either, but obviously, the league, it's more of a kids league.
absolutely.
Kid.
Well, yeah, it's way more kid friendly than. I mean, the
Yeah.
NHL would love to be a bit more, and I'm sure they'd say that they would be,
Yes.
but not like this. This has always been a
Yes.
very kid friendly environment.
They're very for the kids, and
Yeah,
obviously being in Boston has its pros and cons, and I think that's one of the big cons where
yeah,
obviously you're gonna get the drunk Bostonians that will say their mind, whether it has a swear or not.
right. Yeah. I wonder how much of it was like, I mean, because it's a college campus now too, right? So, well, I guess Lowell is as well, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe
I
attendance numbers or something. That's
I saw around. Did see a few college women's hockey players around.
sure.
I um I know BU was there. I saw a few of the Northeastern players. I saw actually KK Harvey from Wisconsin.
Oh,
So
wow.
there was a lot of college
Yeah.
represent.
Representation. Yeah. That's cool.
Um Now into Saturday where it was in St. Louis and
Yes. That's
um
another tough one.
that was another tough loss. I do agree with you on that.
Yeah.
They had it until maybe 3 minutes left in the game, which
Yeah.
honestly you should not be losing that. In my opinion.
Yeah. I kind of felt it was gonna kind of go a little bit that way. We were up 1-0, and I was like, "This is a really tight game. Like, it'd be really impressive if they could close this out." That's very difficult to do, I think, in a lot of hockey leagues.
Hmm.
But I just like I don't know. You all can blame me. I was like, this feels like an overtime game, and I just blew it. And they scored twice, and I was like, oh, this is all my fault. So
No, I
uh,
have witchcraft on Twitter too. So
yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, it was I don't know.
it was a hard watch for me because
Yeah,
honestly, I was like, oh, we got this. Same thing as the game on Wednesday. Oh, we're going into this. We got the lead. Just play defensively.
yeah,
That third period, Ottawa, like I don't know what got into them, but they played. I would say they played their best period of hockey that they have played all year.
yeah, yeah.
What?
And then Venisova is just cheat code. She scores
Yes, she
twice,
is.
and
Twice in 32 seconds.
yeah, that's just tough. We ride it out for 16 minutes, and then literally a 30-second phase, and now we
Hmm.
we lose we lose 3 points too. Not even just one, not two. It's not an overtime loss.
Yeah.
That's a whole 3 points that we could have had.
Yes. Now it's getting a little tight within the playoff race with us. We are so far ahead now. We're third. Well,
Yeah,
I'm a little like I'm kind of biting my nails every time they play because if they lose, it's once the next person behind them one step closer.
Yeah,
Obviously, I don't want to see that. I want us in the playoffs. I want us to have home.
absolutely. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, we're only there's 4 games left for us, 3 for a couple other teams, but like we are not clinched. Like there is still a very real possibility that they
yes.
do miss. Like if they don't get rack a couple wins up here, I don't know the exact clinching scenarios, but
Oh
we're
yeah.
not there yet. So
Um, Speaking of, well, we have the game on Wednesday.
yes,
But uh, actually, let's stay there. What do
sure.
you think that they come back against Ottawa and go for them, or do you think they give up like they did on Saturday?
I we've talked about it for a few times on the pod recently, but the our uh, win rate at home being Songus specifically is insane. So like I would never count against us at Songus Center like
I
ever.
I think that I don't know what their thing is for Songus, but I did notice that too. They've
Yeah,
only lost what once or twice there, right?
I believe once. No, they just lost. Didn't they just lose this week there?
No, no,
No, that
no.
was against. Yeah, you're right. So yeah,
That was a
so it should
Ganis.
just be one. I gotta double check the numbers, but I'm
You
pretty sure we had one overtime
tell us,
loss at home.
but
Yeah,
um, li- yeah, I think I think that I'm hoping that they come into this with a little bit more passion than they have the last two games.
yeah,
Uh, Aaron Frankel, obviously, is Aaron Frankel.
yep. She'll be
she's
there.
she, she's probably the best thing we have on this team, and Hillary Knight.
Yeah, I mean, those are the 2 jerseys they sell. So
Yeah, I think I do think they should sell more jerseys. Like,
yeah, I don't
um,
know. I don't know what the deal is with that. I don't know, poke around. I guess I thought by
I
now
have
we'd
I
have a
actually
few
have
more.
that. I
Yeah.
put I asked so at the last season ticket event, I asked Marmar, I'm like, "Oh, do you know if there's gonna be more jerseys?"
Right. Right. Yeah.
And she's like, "I don't know." It ask Faith, which is I believe their PR person.
Mhm.
So more. I had quite the conversation with her about it, and I was like, "Oh, you know, the WLL, they do a drop down menu. Why can't we do that?" Like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it's like. I mean, just the lettering and all that is pretty. I mean, it's a little bit more complicated, I guess, compared to like a normal NHL jersey or something, because they've got those like waves on the numbers, right?
yes.
So
Um,
I don't know if it's maybe a production thing or what, but
yeah, I've noticed that so I check around both the Canadian and US markets. So Montreal has four.
yeah,
Montreal has four.
yep,
Toronto has three. Minnesota has three, and then us, Ottawa, New York only have two. What's going on here? What's up
yeah. I
with
don't.
all love?
I was talking about this with a buddy of mine recently, and I was like, I don't. Maybe there was like an allotment, like they were only budgeted, X amount of whatever it is, 15 players individual, and then they just kind of divvied them up between the teams or something. I don't really know.
Yeah,
That's all
they
all
just started
conjecture, but yeah.
to.
What's that?
They
Sorry.
they started selling youth ones too. Youth name.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't
Uh,
know, like if maybe it's something to do with that or something. I have no idea. I just
it's
want
kind of.
more. I want a Mueller jersey so bad.
I do too. I do
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So I don't
Like,
know.
yeah, I own a Mueller jersey too.
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
don't,
Friend of
oh,
mine bought one. She bought one of the preseason or like the pre-league jerseys that the game worn ones, and I've been so jealous ever since.
oh, really?
So
I want one, but they were so expensive.
yes, it was a lot of money, but it's like she treasures that thing, and I had to hunt down Alina to get her to sign it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'm on first name basis with her. I mentioned this all the
Nice.
time. We're friends now, I guess.
There you go. I'll have to get she's the next card I got to get to have her somebody sign. I've got the
I
Lane Mueller UD
I
exclusive,
have
so
where I don't know where mine are, but I do have one of her signed. I actually have two of her signed. Actually, I don't know where it is. Yeah, I have like all this. Yeah, these two. These two.
Nice. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, so nobody's gonna see that because we're just audio, but
Yeah. Audio format. Yep.
um,
But yeah, I went to a signing for Keller. She was doing a signing last week, or the week before last, and I
they're
got that one signed. So,
they're all really, really, really nice,
oh my
and
god,
I
they're
don't know
yeah,
if that nice.
yeah, they're so sweet. Every time I've interacted with any of the players, they've just been the nicest. And that's what I
Yeah,
told her as well. I was like, you guys do such a good job, not just interacting with like the public, like people that like me who are a pain, but like with kids and stuff. They're so good. Like they're elite when it comes to like making that kid's week. Like their kids' eyes light up when they interact with these players, and they do such a
yes,
good job.
I sit by the tunnel, so I see a lot of these interactions because
Yeah,
I I I'm like I'm in the prime spot, and I chose that
right.
on, I did that on purpose.
Of course, yeah.
So but I get a lot of like I help little kids with signatures.
Sure.
I help them get signatures and
Yeah. That's what it's
uh
about.
and obviously some parents will be like, hey, can they scoot in, get some high fives? I'm like, I don't care. Like
Yeah, of course.
as as long as you're respectful about it, go ahead.
Yeah,
That's my thing. As long as you're respectful about it, I have no problem letting your kid lives, letting your kid get signatures, all that. But if
of
you're good,
course.
if these kids are gonna just try to push their way through me and whatnot,
Yeah, yeah,
gonna be like, no.
yeah. Somebody's got to stand up for the other kids.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
They're all tiny too, so I gotta kind of use somewhat big body to block them.
there you go. Uh,
Um, so I'm trying to think of what to talk about next. Possibly worlds. Let's do worlds because
sure.
this might be a big portion of our our
Yeah,
segment.
yeah,
Um, so within the last 30 minutes, actually, like 30 minutes to an hour,
yeah. Good timing.
Hannah Miller was deemed ineligible for Team Canada.
And that, so I don't. I'm not 100% fluent on everything that surrounds it. So she's dual citizen, right? Or
I
true?
have no clue actually, but she played
Okay,
for China in the last Olympics, and China's kind of
right.
we don't want no foreigners on our team. and
So they, yeah.
like
So she applied to play for Canada instead.
yes, well, also she probably didn't get the opportunity to before. That's
Right,
why
right,
she played for China, and obviously
right.
now she's the coach and the GM's like favorite person ever because she
Mm-hmm.
scored a bunch of goals for the Septors. So
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
um, they replaced her with another Septors player, Septors bias, I guess.
yeah.
Julia Gosling, which
Okay.
I'm I'm not gonna she's a good net front presence.
Yeah.
Your play on the Scepter, she kind of sits there up in the front of the net, and she does her job.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's weird situation, I guess. With uh, did they give a reason specifically as to why they denied it? I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the article quickly now, just because again, it just came out
Oh,
not too long ago.
I
But
just that she was deemed ineligible. Oh,
yeah, I just didn't know if they gave like a specific reasoning or if
yeah. I'm not too into that kind of circle, so
yeah.
but now we have a little bit of a mix up. And today officially, and Renee Davienne was put on Montreal's LTIR.
Yeah.
So I'm not completely sure how that affects Canada if they have to leave her out because she's on Montreal's LTIR, or if she'll
Um.
uh
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely. I mean, if she's hurt, she's hurt. You know, like they,
yes.
especially if she can come back for the playoffs after Worlds. I think it's going to be. I guess I don't know. I mean, we know how it works with the NHL and all that, and I'd like to think it's the same here, but I don't know how they'll weigh that. I mean, Worlds is a big deal, It's not
It
nothing.
is it
So
is a big deal from
yeah,
everybody that I've talked to that plays for their country.
yeah,
It's a huge deal, and obviously it stinks that you can't play for your team, but also you have to think about, you kind of want that Walter Cup too.
absolutely, yeah,
You've won all these gold medals in the women's world. You want that Walter Cup. You've never won
yeah.
that. Um,
I did find too, by the way, just not to go back too far, but
I do
so
that.
Hannah Miller is ineligible because of the 2 year timeline from her switch away from China.
Okay,
So her
that
last,
makes
yeah, her
sense.
last game was within 2 years.
Okay,
Um, yeah,
uh, I think I think honestly, I kind of am with the Gosling replacement because she's young.
yeah,
I was talking about this to someone else, one of my friends. Canada is significantly older than USA.
yeah,
And I think once the time comes when these people start to, retire, USA is going to have that advantage of, integrating these young players earlier.
sure,
So that's my opinion on the matter. I think that Canada's unwillingness to incorporate the youth is going to catch up to them eventually. Not within the next like 3, 4, or 5 years. I think maybe within the next 6, 7, 8 years that it's going to catch up. Where USA has this young budding core right now, where their oldest starting goalie is 26 years old,
yeah. The prime.
compared compared to Canada's where they're 30, 31. Um,
Mm-hmm.
addition of Ev Gascon, very excited about that. She tore it up
Yeah,
at UMD. I think she's their future goalie.
nice. Yeah, yeah. I haven't. I don't follow the college game as much as I probably should, but
It's
it's still
okay.
exciting to see like a new face. It's kind of the changing of the guard a little bit. Which
Yes.
kind of feels similar to the men's game as well. I mean,
Yes.
listen, Crosby's not done, but like,
You
I
got to
mean,
start.
he's kind of old. He's a little old. So
Also, with the United States, they have known forward Layla Edwards on defense.
hey, if it works, it works, right?
Yeah, they've been experimenting with Layla on defense, and when it's a blowout for Wisconsin, they like to throw her at defense too. So
Interesting. I
yeah,
don't.
so
I've seen that not to again to compare to the men's game or whatever, but like the Leafs have tried that with Mitch Marner, and it's always been a nightmare. It is also the Leafs, but
she does translate pretty well, I think.
that's
Um,
cool.
I think that USA is really top notch with how they develop their talent.
Sure.
Canada also has Chloe Primerano, who I've seen 3 times. She
Nice.
is she's no joke.
Yeah.
18-year-old defender. Skipped a year to be in college early. So
Nice.
I think she's gonna be someone to watch this.
Yeah.
Let me think of what else. Oh, speaking of college, let's talk about the national championship.
There we go. Yeah.
Last week, yeah. Let's perfect transition.
Yep.
That game. I don't know if you saw that game, but it was very
I
good.
didn't know. I think that might have been one of the 2 or 3 days that I was asleep for many hours.
It was on Sunday, so probably.
uh, oh, actually, I probably was okay. I probably just missed it.
It was a really good game. I want to.
Oh, yes. Sorry, I did see. Well, I saw the overtime shootout, or there was a penalty shot goal, right?
It was a penalty shot. So yeah, they were down one. In the 18 seconds left, and they got a penalty shot.
Wow.
Johnson and Kirsten Sims, stud. She went in, scored the penalty shot, brought it to overtime.
And I think if I read correctly, she asked for that, right?
Yes,
Like
so
they went over to the bench and the coach said, "Who wants it?" and she raised her hand.
Yes, that was also
That's
a pretty cool
sick.
moment
That's sick.
for a coach to have that much trust in their player
Yeah.
is as a group
Yeah.
is very impressive.
I mean, to have that much trust in yourself at that age is even more impressive to me. That's
Um,
insane. Like,
so
yeah,
so from what I've heard, the whole team was saying, "Kirsten, you got to do it. Sims,
right.
you got to do it." So she was like,
Hmm.
"I got to do it." So
There you
she
go.
and went for it.
That's a leader.
Yeah, she scored it. They went into overtime. It was a fantastic game. And she actually also scored the game-winning goal in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, how do you not?
She had a legacy game, as they would say.
Yeah, yeah. That's awesome.
um, let me think. I'm gonna go back to the fleet.
Sure.
Um, in
This is a fleet podcast, after all.
yeah, yes. I'm trying to make up time. We're moving fast.
No worries. Yeah.
um, so they have been handing out these little cards that with chants, and
Yeah.
they're pretty cool, I will say.
Yeah. I think so. I didn't see this until I was so this was the Montreal game. I think was when this started going around,
Yes,
and uh, I think I was told it was season ticket holders that have put this together. That it's like not there's nothing from the team at all.
I think
Um,
that's me. I do.
yeah. So I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's awesome to see the fans like get together and do something like this to try to like bring a little bit more engagement. Um, I think some of them are probably just being a cynic, I guess. I don't think a few of these are going to catch on because I think that there's just kind of like a lot of expectation as far as like being super aware of every player and stuff like that. But I do remember the "to the brig" chant when an opposing player gets sent to the box was very loud. I remember that very like people
That
were all about that.
yes, that one is the one that, in all honesty, will catch on and has
Yeah.
caught on.
Oh yeah,
I
I
think
think that's a
it's really
staple
good
now.
too.
Yeah.
I think
It's really funny.
it's really clever, and
Yep.
it's different. It's it separates us from the rest of the league, and that's
Yeah.
what I like.
Yes.
I'm not sure about the rest of them. I think you gotta kind of. I think the reason that To the Brig caught on is because it's repeated.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's quick, it's easy. You don't need to know, the last name of the player or anything like that. It's just like easy peasy. And it's catchy. So
Yeah, and they repeat it because
yep.
the thing is you can send these out as many times as you want,
Right.
but the one that is obviously catching on is the one they go to the break. Like
Yeah.
obviously, and the rest of them are you have to be all do it at once, and it's hard
Yes.
for a whole crowd to kind of be in sync like that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I think if there were any other ones that were repeated, it'd be because I didn't see this getting passed around or anything. I only caught on to it because I was like, what are they saying? I was like, it sounds like they're saying "to the brig," and then somebody was like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. So like, and in that amount of time, I can still join this chant now because now I understand it. But if it's the other ones are you say two words at a certain point, it's going to be
Yes.
tough. There are some chants like that around different leagues that I've seen, but it takes a while, I think, for that kind of thing to catch on.
Yes, it takes quite some time to catch on,
Yep.
and that's the thing that I think it'll take some time for the rest of them to catch on, but To the Brig definitely has caught on, and it's
Yeah.
very whoever thought of it, bravo. Um,
Yes, absolutely. I mean, bravo to the all of the for the fans for even getting this going because like I mean I saw it, so like it's getting spread around, so they're doing a good job.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think obviously we don't I think Songus doesn't pull as much as people like to, but
Right.
Songus is loud.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's people like to say that we're quiet or whatever because there's not a lot of people in there, but it's always surprisingly loud for however many people are in there. So
Yeah, for the like 4 to 3 to 6,000 people that are in there,
yep.
it's usually really loud. And I've had the pleasure of knowing a few players. one of the goalies on New York that I will not name.
Oh no.
No. It's nothing bad. I just don't want to name drop people like
Sure.
that. Um, she said she said that Boston is one of her favorites to be in
Cool.
because
Yeah.
the fans are loud, and she said especially the booing. She said the fans
Yes.
are loud, especially the booing.
Hmm. Yeah. And
I
there's
do.
a so my section is the basically we get to I sit behind Frankel twice. Um,
Okay.
I know the whole arena is very loud, but specifically if Frankel touches the puck, that whole end of the arena is so loud. There's so much support for Frankel every single time she touches the puck. I love it. So
I remember one game, Soderbergh was in, and someone just goes, Frankel. Oh, no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
it's not Frankel. And
yeah. There's some like common chants that they do for Frankel every time. Obviously, just like Frankel or whatever it is. But
yeah,
yeah, when Sodes was in, everybody was a little messed up. Like everybody still wanted to cheer for Soderbergh, and they still were. They were still very loud, but there wasn't like a set cheer that they could all just go to immediately. So it was like
yeah.
disorganized,
Uh,
but still fun.
I think we as fans got to start making chants for other players. I
Yeah,
need
that's true.
Alina Mueller chant, please. I'm
I
begging
know.
you.
Yeah,
um, no, I think we need to spread the love to all the players. I know,
of course.
they all get equal love, but obviously there's only one player getting a chant.
Yeah, it's true. It's
um,
also the
yeah,
easiest one to
no,
do it for too.
it is the easiest one to do. Her
Her
name's
name is so perfect for it. Yeah, it's like built for it.
Yes, it's built.
Yeah,
It is perfectly built for it.
yeah.
Um, when when do you think where is Hannah Bilka? There, that's
I
better.
know. I don't know. I think I've seen her skating at practice, right? Like
I'm not sure.
I
Um,
th- I think I want to say I saw. I didn't see her. Like I don't go to the practices or anything like that, but I want to say some of the marketing. I think I saw
you can probably
Bilka
see her.
coming off the ice, like in like having after having practice and like interacting with the fans because again they do such a great job at that.
I'm not completely sure. But where is Hannah Bilka? I want Hannah Bilka back. I miss Hannah
Yeah. Well, and
Bilka.
that's we talked about last week is like we up until then we were really hot, we were doing really well, and then it was like, oh, by the way, we also have Hannah Bilka, she's just not playing right now. Like it's like imagine when she comes back, it's going to be great.
Yes. That's why I said, oh, maybe she might be coming back soon because they split Mueller and Knight up.
Yeah,
And obviously the rest of the lineup's kind of capable of scoring, but you need those two kind of running on the same kind of track to kind of because when those two were running on the same track, they obviously were causing a lot of trouble.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah. And it's tough like you want her to have some like lead up into the playoffs too, right? Like it's I know we've got time, we've got worlds coming and all that, but like you want to get her some game time before it really matters. Every game, every
yeah.
minute is going to matter. So hopefully she's back soon. I don't know.
One second. Let me.
No
Uh,
worries.
yeah, I think Hannah Bilka obviously was brought in to make this offense better,
Oh yeah,
and I believe she has. So
yeah. Hopefully, there is one other big thing that happened in Fleet News that I don't know that we added to our little list here, but Babstock did get suspended
yes.
for 2 games.
I
I
was
didn't
there when that
see
happened.
the play. Well, yeah, you were there.
I didn't see it
Um,
either, honestly. It seemed like it was right off the draw.
right. So I think did they said why specifically, right? They said it was a slew foot. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, that's I mean, it's a tough look, but it happens. Maybe
I
our emotions get the
it,
best of us,
it
but
Oliver-esque. We're I'm gonna bring the soul of Oliver back with us.
sure.
Um, we were playing better with Jillian Dempsey.
That's fair. That is very Oliver
we,
coded.
we,
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna see Dempsey, I would imagine now, right? So
I'm hoping that they kind of go back. I love Babstock.
Yes.
but
Dearly,
I'm
yeah.
hoping.
Her voice is huge in the locker room too. Like everybody knows it. Like you
Yes,
can hear it from outside of the locker room. She's like getting the girls going. So like,
but obviously the team has not been as successful with Babstock in as they were with Dempsey in.
yeah,
So, in my opinion, I think it might be the smart decision to move off of Babstock and onto Dempsey.
yeah. I mean, it's again, depth is always good. So like, I'm not ready to like ship her out or anything. but but I
Yes,
definitely. I mean, I'm always down for more ice time for Jill Dempsey.
yes,
So
yes. We love Demps. We love Demps.
yes,
Um, let's let me think. Let's get into. There's only 2 games this week for the PWHL,
sure.
and we are one of them.
Yep.
Let's get to our predictions, and don't go with what I say because I'm always wrong.
Okay. I think so, yeah, Oliver set me up last time because he was saying that I was doing really well, and I'm pretty sure I got everything wrong last week. So
I
thanks,
I
Oliver.
I I am the one person that gets everything wrong. So
All right.
let's think of so we're recording this on Monday.
Yep.
New York and Montreal have a are playing.
I mean it's got to be Montreal. Like unfortunately, New York's still kind of I don't know, I keep saying this and they're going to turn around and bite us, but they've just been having a tough go at it. So I don't think
Well,
that they're eliminated yet. I think technically they still could
they
make
still
it.
got a chance. They still got a chance.
So they're 8 points back with 4 games remaining. So
Yeah. So
so yeah, no,
it's
they're
gonna
still
be
yeah, 42 points is their maximum. So
yeah. It's gonna be a hard hill to climb for sure.
so if
Uh,
we get 2 points and the Frost get 5 points, they
and
can still get in
charge too. They're getting into it.
in the charge. Yep, yeah, and the
They're
Charger are only 2 points behind the Frost too. Yeah,
they're getting there. And let we not forget the 6-3 win that New York had against Ottawa.
that's fair. Yeah,
6 goals in
yeah.
the
I mean, yeah. I'm from Boston, so I would love to see Montreal lose here, but I just don't see it happening.
You know what? I think they're riding high because their last game was a 6-3 win. I
Yeah,
think
that's fair.
with a little more oomph. Hey, we want to get in the playoffs. We want to, this and that, this and that. We want to get in the playoffs. Let's do it.
Yep,
Let's buckle down like they did last year. Actually, like they did
sure.
last at the end of the season where they were on fire right at the end of the season while they were eliminated too.
Yep. Oh
Uh,
yeah, that's right. Oh
so
yeah, that's actually coming up because the way that the lottery, well, it's not a lottery, but the way that the picks work, that's coming up as well soon.
so once they
Interesting.
get eliminated, they might be interested in going on a run.
Well, there's not going to be many games left though. Is the only thing
Yes.
because it's so tight. So yeah, so, I mean,
I
they're
wonder
only going
what
to have like
happens
one or
if
two games.
no team gets any gold plan points if it's just uh, standings based.
It might be. Yeah, I'm sure that there's a tiebreaker. There's probably 12 scenarios that they can go down. Um,
Um,
it would
and
be interesting to see
obviously,
what the yeah what they are.
the next game we have is the Ottawa Charge visiting the Boston Fleet.
Yeah,
Um, that game might be a little interesting considering Saturday.
yeah.
Ottawa,
I,
Ottawa fighting tooth and nail against with Minnesota, and they do have a game against Minnesota at the end of the month, so
yep.
game to
And that
watch.
yeah, and they've got a game in hand as well. The Minnesota's only got 3 games remaining, and Ottawa's got 4, and they're only 2 points behind. So
If they have 3 games remaining, they have New York, Ottawa, and us. So
yeah,
it's gonna be quite the 3 games for them.
yeah,
Um,
and that's and so okay. So then, what does Ottawa have lined up? They have us.
they have us,
Um, let me
Montreal,
check.
Minnesota,
Ooh, that
and
is a in Toronto. That's a gauntlet. I mean, they could do it,
yes, in Toronto. That is
but
that is
they
quite the couple of. I think if
yeah
they have to beat Minnesota,
yeah. I don't
and
know
they
if
have
they I don't think they have. I think that there's an avenue even if they lose that game.
Still, I think it would be best if they beat Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No. Yeah. It's a gauntlet. It would be really cool to see. Like that's a run to go into the playoffs with that would be
You're
really
you're
cool.
be the top three of the top four teams.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're
And that's just
facing
like how else you just yeah you're just telling everybody that you belong here. Like that would be a
ex-
cool thing to see.
I
So
think they need to win. They need to win at least two. They need to win against us, Toronto, or Montreal, and they
yeah.
have to. I think they have to win that Minnesota game because if they lose that Minnesota game, Minnesota gets points on them.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
So
If they lose that Minnesota game, it's over. I think.
yes, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
So
now back to the prediction.
sure.
It's us or it's Ottawa.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I again, it's back to the Songus. Is we're so good at Songus. I think it would be silly to bet against the Fleet in Songus Arena ever at this point.
I totally agree with you. Now we're losing, but I
Oh,
totally
great. Yeah, yeah,
now we're losing because I agreed with you.
yeah,
I think that
yeah.
the fleet. I think they have extra juice in Songus,
I
especially
th-
last year where they didn't have that juice. And so,
yeah, and I believe it's Pride Night, so
yes, it right now.
they better win.
Everybody show up and show out.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a good night.
Uh, and let's talk about Worlds. Who do you think is winning Worlds?
I mean, I don't know. I think Canada's probably gonna stumble a bit, but
I agree.
I mean, I'm from America. We have, look at our team. Like it's how many fleet players are on there? Like
Like three,
yeah,
two. There's
I
not a lot of elite representation in this tournament.
yeah. I mean, I would love to see it, but I don't know. I'm not as up on the international game as I probably should be either. So,
It's
but
basically U.S. or Canada.
right. So hockey is just like everything else. Yeah.
uh,
Um, or rather, just like every other hockey experience.
I think Czechia might be in for a run.
They've been building like Czechia is coming. Like I mean, they're here, but like they are coming. Like it's
I
in
I
both the men's and women's game.
I think they're in for a run. They have their goal. They have Klara Peslarova, and I think
Hmm.
she's gotta go in there with a chip on her shoulder,
Yeah.
based on how the fleet have been treating her. Kind of trying to be like, hey, look, I'm this good.
Yeah.
Same with um Peshova. I think she does get more min. She obviously gets more minutes, but I think she also wants to prove a point that she
Yeah.
belongs.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna upset USA or Canada.
Really?
That's my bold prediction. I think they're gonna upset one of the two.
That would be cool. I mean,
I think they
yeah.
I think they're gonna get silver, and I think if they don't upset USA, which I don't want them to win, I think USA is gonna win. They have such a young and talented roster, and I think they have the speed and the
Yeah.
skill side that obviously Canada has speed and skill, but I think they have the youth on their side that Canada doesn't really quite have right now.
Right.
Um, but I think that's gonna wrap it up. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
No, I mean, apologies to everyone if this seems like chaotic or a little
It
thrown
is.
together. It kind of was. It was a little last minute just because, you know, things happen in our lives and we, sometimes you just got to take some time to deal with them. So good luck to Oliver with everything. He's fine.
Yes.
And I don't know exactly if he's going to be back next week right away. I don't want to make any promises for him.
No, I don't.
But
We told him to take all the time he needs. So
yeah, exactly. So
here-
life comes first and we'll be here and we'll be chaotic until then. We have no adult supervision. It's a problem. So we'll figure it out.
yeah. So this was the Fleet Diehards podcast, and I hope everybody has a good week. And let's go Fleet.
Yeah, there you go.